walk. Okay. So can I hold this if I'm talking or just hold it? All right. Hi, everybody. So my name is Julie Salter, and I am the Career and Job Placement Coordinator here at Louisiana Delta Community College. And I'm so happy to see you. I know that you are here because you're in college trying to get your degree, trying to, earn better wages, and that's an awesome thing. But I mostly want you to know that I'm here for your support. I'm here to help you. And I'm here just because most of you know this if you know me. I absolutely love you guys. I love students. So this makes me happy to be able to help you. So if you don't know me, you should know me. I can help you with lots of things, but today we're talking about resumes, portfolios, and interviewing. And keep in mind, this is not really specific to any certain degree field. It's just a very generic, but hopefully you'll take away from this things that are important that you should have when you're trying to interview and resume. So we'll just go to the next one. Okay, so when you're doing a resume, you can have an objective, but you don't have to. A lot of companies nowadays are like, well, you don't necessarily need to have one. They do not want you to summarize anything anymore when you're doing a resume. Basically, if you're gonna put an objective, make it very simple, very to the point. This one says, recent graduate from Louisiana Delta Community College from the School of Business, who seeks to obtain a position in marketing. So you don't have to put all that extra stuff in there. Just put what you're going for, or don't even put an objective and just go straight to your skills. It just depends. It depends on what type of resume you're doing. Okay, you can go to the next one. All right, so if you're a nurse and you're trying to get a job in nursing, your skills and qualifications are gonna have to do a lot with patient care, documentation, how you handle patients, how you handle working with other people. So this is like what you would put if you were in nursing school, okay? So go ahead and go to the next one. For most people, you want to have your skills and qualifications according to what you're going into, but most people need the same basic skills for all jobs. So like this one, highly skilled in providing excellent customer service, received a certification in customer service for business professionals. So if you've received any certifications or anything, you want to put that in there. Interpersonal communications, what does that mean? That means you can communicate with people, right? Your coworkers, whoever you work with. Problem solving, are you a good problem solver? Put that on there. Are you efficient? Can you do things in a timely manner? And can you work in a team structure? And are you flexible? So like all of this stuff, when they talk about soft skills, employers want you to have soft skills and they want to see that you can do the stuff. But don't put it on there if you're not. So in other words, if you're not good at time management, don't put that on there, because then you're going to be in trouble when they expect something to be done in a certain amount of time and you don't get it done. All right, go ahead to the next one. So then you're going to, you can go to the next one. You're going to just put your work experience. With your work experience, you're going to highlight a couple important aspects of what you do at that job, like here with the bank, client and partner relationship management, high-touch customer service, interpersonal money management. That covers a lot of things, handling money. Assist clients with opening new accounts, and participated in financial literacy training. So if you've done any kind of professional development with your job, you can put that on there too. So those are just some examples. You do want to have some things you bulleted, but you don't want to do like any more than probably 5 or 6. You don't want to have, like I've seen resumes that have just every single thing that they did at the job. You don't have to put all that on there because they're not going to look at it all. Save that for the interview. Just highlight the important things. All right, Go ahead. All right. And one thing I did want to note is if you are involved in volunteering or you do service learning, put that on there. So like you can put on there that you volunteered at the food bank or you did such and such with such and such company. That's important. I think that that tells them that you get out in the community and you've done stuff. So that's important to put on there. So make sure you're adding your volunteer experience. Okay, go ahead. All right, and so if you have never done a lot of work and you're like not sure what to put on there under your education, you can look up, okay, what does it say my goals are? What am I learning here at the college? And under most programs, they have that information. So like this is objectives of the programs learned, and it'll have it on the Delta page. You can put that on there if you need a resume filler to let employers know what it is you're in school for. What are you learning? It's okay to have that on there because some of us don't have extensive work histories, so they need to see kind of maybe what we're in school for and what we're learning. All right? So, portfolios. How many of you have a portfolio? Anybody? All right, so that's good we talk about it because now it is really good to have a portfolio. Why? Because it makes you stand out from the crowd, right? If you go in there and there's like 50 other people applying for that position, they're interviewing, you have a portfolio with, you know, your resume, cover letter, certifications, letters of recommendations, and examples of volunteer work, you're going to stand out above everybody else. And they will remember you, right, above somebody else because you took the time to put together this quick little portfolio for them. Okay. All right, so these are just some examples. If you want to have a portfolio presentation of pictures like this, Healthcare Day, learning about career pathways with local healthcare facilities. So say like today, say somebody took a picture of you guys sitting here today. Something you could put on your, you learned about resumes from career services and how to be professional. Those are important skills that you can have in a portfolio. And pictures, okay? Go to the next one. And that's like nurses volunteering at community health fairs. I'm telling you, it makes a difference to get out and volunteer in the community. It shows that you care. A lot of organizations are focusing on getting out and being involved, and they want to see that you fit into that kind of culture and that you care too. So if you have this kind of stuff, you will stand out, all right? Next one. I think there's just one more example. Okay, well, now we're going to kind of talk for a minute, about how you look and why it matters, right? So why does it matter? Who thinks first impressions are critical? Yes, they are, aren't they? And why do they matter? Why? Why does it matter how you appear to somebody else? Well, the first 10 seconds of meeting someone gives you an altered impression of who they are, right? How many times have you seen somebody acting a fool and thought, oh my gosh, okay, we know that person. And then you see them out later and you're like, I know, they're crazy. You know, I mean, how you act and the way that you present yourself to other people matters. And employers remember this. And I'm going to tell you a really quick story about when I was a teenager. I'm from California. I bought a car. I thought I should be driving this car. Didn't have a license. Didn't have insurance. Okay, I know. I was a little bit bad when I was younger. And I thought, okay, I want to drive this car and I don't want to be in school. So I cut school, I left, and I got in the car and I went to the grocery store. Well, I went to the grocery store and I locked my keys in the car and I was mad. So here I am and I'm like, what am I going to do now? This sucks. I'm at the grocery store, my keys are locked in the car. So I started kicking the car, and I said a bunch of words that I should not have said. And I turned around, and there is the bishop of my church right there looking at me. And I'm like, hi. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? And so he looks at me and he says, well, from what I can gather, you locked your keys in the car. I said, yes, I did. Can you help me? He said, I can. He didn't ask me why I was out of school. He didn't ask me what I was doing. He just said, okay, I'll help you. Well, he did. He helped me get the keys out of the car. And then he turns and looks at me and he says, now, Julie, that person that I saw, I never want to see that person again. I know that's not who you are. Don't let people think that's who you are. And it made such an impression that I am so careful now in public when I'm out. I mean, even if I'm really mad, I hold it till I get in my car and I'm in a quiet space or something, because you never know who is around and what impression you're making on those people. So keep that in mind. Smile and exude confidence. All right, and you are judged by what you wear, unfortunately. So you can go on to the next one, because I know you guys know what you wear sets the tone for the interview. All right, so business formal, business casual, some examples of what women should and shouldn't wear. Well, what you should wear in this one. Business formal, you know, what you would think you should wear. And business casual, as long as you are looking professional, then you're good. Okay, next one. Same for men. You don't have to wear a suit and tie to an interview all the time. You can if you want to stand out, but it's not necessary for certain jobs you're applying for, but I would if you could. But you can also, at work, business casual is good. You need to get an understanding of what the work environment is like so that you understand how you can and can't dress. But you could do that after the interview. Okay, next one. Do not do this, okay? I've seen this, where you wear shoes that are too high, or you wear inappropriate clothing. Some women wear, shirts that are all the way down that show everything that they have going on up here. Don't distract the interviewer from you, because that is not going to get you the job. And then don't wear jeans unless that's like something that you know you can do for that job. So research it. But go ahead to the next one. And you don't want to wear loud jewelry, very colorful shoes. You don't want your pants to be down to here, colorful watches, jeans with holes in them. All these things you might be saying, why are you showing me this? I've seen it all. I have seen this in interviews. And so we had a girl show up to a career fair here with these huge earrings on that said sexy, right? And she lost one of them, and an employer brought it to me, and I was like, I'm sorry. Because sometimes people just don't understand how to dress. That's why we do these things, because we want to help you. Go ahead. All right. So interview questions is next. They're going to ask you more problematic questions depending on what you're going into. Like for you guys that are in criminal justice, they're probably going to ask you more like social science geared questions than they would. So pretty much, how do you deal with stressful situations, and tell us about your strengths. So you want to avoid saying you're never stressed or stress doesn't affect you at all, because that's just not true. None of us are like that. And then, would you consider yourself to be a team worker, individual worker? And then some of those are related to nursing, so you can go on to the next. But basically the point is with interview questions, you want to really think about your answers before you give them. And if you're unsure, you just tell them, I don't know. Can I come back to that question? I need to come back to that and think about it, because they're okay with that. Don't just get nervous and start blurting out answers that might not get you the job, or don't over talk. Like, don't think you didn't say enough and then start talking, and then, you've lost them. because they want answers that are very to the point, short, quick, but explain what they're asking you. And if you don't know, guess what? Guess what we're doing today? We're doing mock interviews. So if you want to practice interview skills with us, we can test your skills. We can find out how you do. If you just want to know what kind of questions are going to be asked, you just let us know, because we'll be here doing those today if you need it. I want to say thank you so much. Did anybody have any questions? So, yes.
Are you, like if we want to make an appointment with you,
Yes.
something like that, you're available for us to?
I am.
Can you, for the sake of the viewing audience, repeat what the question is?
Yes. So she asked me if I'm available to set up an appointment with, and my answer is definitely yes. So you can reach me at jsalter@ladelta.edu, or you can call me at 318-345-9151, or you could just come see me. My office is on the Monroe campus here. Right when you walk in, you know, you see really nice Miss Liz sitting there, and then I'm right to the, I'm at the, I just messed that up. I said right to the left. That didn't make any sense. But on the left hand side is where my office is at. And I am doing a lot of events off campus the month of October, so you might have to schedule an appointment. But if I'm here, I'll see you for sure. But I would love to help you if you need help with anything. If you need help with your resume, you just need to talk about jobs, you're not sure like what career and come get one.
Testing 1 2 2. 1 2 1 2. Well, I'll be. Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. One moment, please. See what happens when you go live and is that better? Oh my goodness. Well, we're live. You can tell that we're live. My name is Ryan Pierce, and I am going to host a special interview and fix my audio all at the same time, because that's been the problem. There we go. That's been the problem this whole time is audio, but I think we finally fixed it. No echoes, no crazy noises.
Hello.
There's a special guest that we have I want to say in the audience, but she's actually sitting right here with me, which is kind of cool because this is the first time that we've had a special guest.
Wow.
In the, basically not being recorded or not in front of a big television screen, but just doing like a standard radio style interview. So you probably are hearing a voice and you're thinking, man, who is this mystery person? And why hasn't he shown us this mystery person? But you see her name down there, interviewing Ashley Garner from Manpower. So let's switch over to the 2-person view. Again,
how cool is this?
we're live streaming now, and see how big she is? That's because she's the most important person, right? I take backstage, I take a back seat to Miss Garner, because she's going to talk to us as a kind of a continuation of this whole process, this whole day, this whole week, Business and Technology Career Expo week. She has decided to come on and just bless us with some pertinent information related to careers and what we can do to better position ourselves for the careers of our future. So if you would, Ashley, I just want you to take over. I think I'm done talking. I'm just done altogether because
No,
of all
you're
the
not
technical
done.
issues.
This is so much fun.
And but thank you for being very,
Well, of course. Thank
relaxed
you.
about the whole
Yes.
thing. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about what you do at Manpower.
So my name is Ashley Garner. I work at Manpower. We are a staffing and recruiting agency. So basically we help people find jobs, find their career path, help them through all the challenges of the changing world of work, as we all know too well. I've been there 18 years. I do marketing for Manpower, and I love it. So
Okay.
I've learned a lot in the whole 19 years as well. But we have a lot of information to share. So that's why I'm here today. So I want to thank Julie for inviting me to come, and thank you for working your magic for this to happen.
We're trying. It was, it's always funny when you have technical issues. There's always like that one really simple thing that you just overlook.
Right.
It's always that, oh, why didn't I think about that?
And
I
it's
looked
light bulb comes in.
I looked at it 3 times. 3 times I looked at the same thing and just it didn't register that, oh yeah, if I flip this switch, everything's going to work all of a sudden. So we'll find out if it really worked when we watch the replay, right? We may have you here again. Actually, it wouldn't be a problem to have you here a few times.
I would love to come.
So Ashley, you've told us you've been at Manpower for 18 years. You told us what Manpower is about. It's a staffing agency, correct? We're trying to match viable employees to opportunities. Is that correct?
Right. So what we do is, just better lack of words, is we match your skills with our customer needs, and then that's how we find jobs for people.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like Match.com. We make that match, and then we do our part, to get them in front of our clients, get those interviews set up, and then it's up to them to land the job.
So I feel like you do a lot of setup. Do you do some coaching? Is there a book? Is there something out there that I could point someone to?
Well, we do have, our website is work4manpower.com.
Okay.
So work, the numeric 4, manpower.com. But we have strategies for success. We have a couple books. I mean, we have a lot of information through our portal, which to work through Manpower, you have to sign up anyway. So I would encourage everyone to do that. It's just your basic information. Everybody has their online portal right now. Everything's online. So you'll register that way. The more information you give us, the better it helps us find you a job, right? So if you don't put any skills or interest, or if you do have a past, a work history, if you don't give us any information, then we're not going to know what you want. So we'll call you in. From that, we'll set up an interview. And that's kind of where the career coaching comes in. So we'll bring you in and we'll go over a couple things. Reality hits when you graduate, of course. And now it's up to you to do everything. Like you had a mentor at Delta, you had your advisors, you had everyone kind of holding your hand through the process, but now that's gone. Now you're an adult, and so it's up to you to move forward. So we help manage your career if you allow us to. I mean, we are recruiting and staffing, but you should think of us as your manager. Like you come in, we're going to manage the process for you, right? We have all the clients all the manufacturing customers and businesses in town that we do business with, so I can get in front of them before you can, right? And I'm not, so that's our job. Our job is to work for you. So that's what we're doing. But we ask for that respect. Like, follow up with us, be serious, come in, do what we ask you to do. And then that way we work together and there's a respect there. And that's how it actually works. Where the sky's gray sometimes or purple, that's the perfect world. That's how it works. But I can give you a few tips just real quick if we can. Basically, once you get done, you're finished up. So now it's like, what's next? What do I do now? Well, next is your life plan. First, you have to make and create a career path. I know that's scary. You've been in school, you already kind of did that because you specialize in business or healthcare and manufacturing for Delta, correct? From there, you have to decide what aspect maybe you want to go into. That's hard. I'm 45. I mean, probably shouldn't say that, but sometimes you don't know what you want to do. But so you have to kind of figure out that plan, and I'm going to tell you how to do that, give you ways to do that. So first, when you go to create your path, if you will, you have to know what you want, and you have to know who you are. Basically, knowing what you want you have to know if you want a full-time job, a part-time job, if you want shifts, if you want, first shifts, are you okay with marking shifts, healthcare, their night shift and working in the ER, just special things like that. You kind of have to know what you want. How far do you want to travel? Do you want to travel? Do you want to stay here? The kind of environment. And you work independently or work with a team. Just things like that. You know that about you, right? Mm-hmm. Then after that, that's about your skills. Then after that, it's about what you like. Is it, do you prefer, like I just said, to work with a team or independent? Do you like numbers? Do you like to be creative? Like helping people. Just different questions you have to ask yourself because we're the only person that can answer that. When you do that, then you've basically created your path, which is your brand, which is what you need to help us find you a job.
Okay.
Your personal brand, basically. Knowing what your interests are, knowing your skills, and then who you are, what you like, basically helps us put all that together and help find you a job. Successfully find you a job.
Wow, I mean that's a lot of work that you guys do. That's a big investment, and this is for each person that goes through the portal and fills out their profile, correct?
Yes. This is our interview process. Like when you come in, we still do the sit-down, face-to-face interview process. We would like to look at you. We like to talk to you.
Wait a minute. So there's an interview
Yes.
before the interview, okay? You're going to put all these folks that you work with, you're going to put them in front of an interview committee at a job. But before they get the chance to do that, they're going to practice. They're going to work with your team.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
So you're not just a number in our portal, right? Okay. We are going to call you in, do the interview process, because you may tell me something in the interview that you didn't tell me online. Like, well, I'm afraid of heights. Okay, well, you can't work on a scaffold. I mean, you know what I mean? Like things like that. We just a little bit more detail. That person to person, like you get more out of someone. And I know the pandemic, it just messed everything up, but we're back to that. We're back to the face-to-face where the world is like it used to be in our minds. So that's how we're moving forward. So yes, we will schedule you to come in to do an interview with Manpower so we can help decide what career paths and what your interests are and what jobs we should put your resume in front of.
So if I'm coming to Manpower and I say, wow, I'm an artist. I like to draw. I want to do that for a living. I mean, how would you, there's that thought that, well, starving artist, you can't make any
That's
money
right.
doing that kind of thing.
That's right.
So how do you, with that example, how do you craft a message or try to persuade or maybe, I don't know, direct someone,
Right, yeah.
redirect someone. It's something that allows them to do what they love, but
Right.
still kind of have the reality of what the workforce is looking for.
So you have to be open-minded, right? So there's part-time, there's temporary, there's contract work. I can help you in that process. If it's like, okay, well, I have at the art crawl or the art gallery, I can, there's a part-time job here. You can go there, to start your dream job of being an artist, or you can, but you have to be open-minded. If I say it's a temporary job, it's only, you can't just shut down on us. There's those things turn into your lifelong goal, if you allow it. But you have to be open-minded. If you're not open-minded, then it's probably not going to work. We're probably not going to be a good match for each other. So, but you have to be open-minded, because everything is changing. The world of work and, how things are done, everything's changing. So you have to be able to change, and to do that, you have to be open-minded.
So what about the world of work and remote work specifically? I know that you just mentioned we're coming out of the pandemic mode of everybody's got to be separated, but there's still some folks that actually kind of like the idea of working from home.
They do.
What does the market look like right now, and Manpower specifically? What kind of avenues do you have towards that? Or what would you say to just, I don't know, anything that I just said?
I think
Not a great question,
well, remotely, which is great, like your call centers and things like that. Some state jobs, if you will, can do that process. Even some of your manufacturing companies in IT or whatever can do that process. However, I am not a remote person. I'm a people person. So I'm living my life and pushing forward for all of that. Remotely, they don't necessarily need someone to help them fill jobs, if you will. They can do that on their own through the internet or through whatever. So remotely, we don't have a whole lot of remote jobs that we actually help find, because it's so easy for them to do it. They market themselves, just kind of like healthcare. They market themselves. But it's out there, and it's still going strong. So
Wow. I'm thinking about skills, right? And we can break it down, IT and healthcare and business and all these other things. But what are some basic skills that you find never get old, never get tired, things that you always find yourself maybe preaching, especially, well, I'm not even going to say to a certain audience, but what is it that you find yourself going over time and time again that people just tend to forget about?
it's basically, in your interview process, we want to know your worth ethic. We want to know all of those, your personal references, your everything about you, so we need to know all those soft skills and those trained skills, and then what else is it that you like that you just haven't had time to do, or that you really, really like, but your mom made you go to school. Those type things, because that's out there, it happens. We don't push our kids, but we really do. So it's just those soft skills and the training, and people are on LinkedIn and social media. Well, those people who really like that, those are probably your remote people, so we help you develop and figure out what you're best at. You may know your skills, but what's transferable, what's job related, and what's personal. That's what we do. We separate those three in those categories: transferable, job related, and personal. That way we can help you, because you have to have all those, and everything else. I think I answered your question. I'm not real sure.
Well, I'm wondering, you're throwing out some buzzwords, some key words. So we're talking about transferable skills. Can you give us an example of what that might be for those that might not know?
Transferable means, like, what do you bring to the employer? What have you? Let me go back. Hold on. Let me get the exact words. Okay, so I'm not leading you in the wrong direction here. So your skills that apply to the jobs, like problem solving, communication, what do you bring to to the employer? Your organization skills. Job related, of course, are specific, like computer skills, customer service. If you're a welder, you're a forklift driver, if you're, machinist, anything like that. And then, of course, your personal skills are your personality, your honesty, loyalty, are you dependable, those type things.
Wow, okay. I like
all
that.
of those play into your brand, which is your resume, which helps us find you a job.
So you mentioned, of course, we're talking about resume, and then you mentioned LinkedIn. And I just wanted to ask you, in your opinion, right? How important is it to have a LinkedIn profile, a LinkedIn presence? in this day and age.
It is very important to have everything is now that everything is on social media. So you have to be careful what's on social media. Let me just back up. Social media is where your employer or the clients go immediately after they know your name to check things out. 100%. So clean your stuff up. Just FYI, if you're looking, you're professional. Things happen, whatever's in the past. But LinkedIn, Career Builder, Indeed, those are all really good avenues and resources. Even our website, our portal, we have all kind of avenues for you to go to where you can, like job boards, you can post your resume, things like that. You have to know about all those things and know what's out there. If you're not using a recruiter to help find you that job, because that's, those are tools that you're not told. They're, the job board, this, well, they have no idea where to go to get that. They're like, what? The job board, where's that? Really. So you have to those avenues and those tools are your best resources if you're working independently, of course.
Wow. If I was to poll the audience, that was the viewing audience or the listening audience or the audience in the student comments area right now, are there any questions that anyone out there has for Ms. Garner about career building, career searches, understanding what it is that you want to do, how to figure? Is there anybody out there that has any questions or thoughts?
And let me just say this. When I say, your career path, what do you want to do? It's not that you necessarily have to know exactly what you want to do right now. You have an idea because you're graduating in one of those 3 major courses, of course. So from that, we just kind of put that on paper and kind of go from there. Everyone gets so scared, they're like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm only, 22 or whatever. I'm like, well, I understand that, but just kind of have an idea. What do you like? So that's why all those other things are important, like your personal skills, your trained skills, and then your transferable. When we ask them those questions and they give us information, then it becomes a little bit more brighter for them and not as scary to understand what we're trying to do for them. When you understand more about yourself and what you like and you actually put that on paper because that matters, then it helps. It makes it just work so much better.
What is the most fulfilling part of what you do? What keeps you coming back? You've been here for 18 years.
Yeah.
What is it about this job that you love so much?
It's a passion, but I love to help people. Mm-hmm. We're a second chance employer. We work with clients like that. We're just very passionate about it. We want everybody to find a job, so we do what we can to help them. Life has happened to most everyone, so in that situation, let's give them an avenue of where they can go. There's avenues out there. If you have a degree, there's avenues for that too. If it's skilled, professional, we have all of that. So it's just putting it out there and helping them through that process to find themselves and then making that match, and then they are hired permanently, and then there they are. One day they may be your HR person. You never know. So it's just a passion just for helping people.
You never
that
know.
want to be helped. That's
a good point. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. Ashley, it's been really good having you here with us as we explore some new avenues at LDCC related to media and streaming and all these things that we're doing.
Microphones.
Right, audio issues and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been so nice to have you here to talk, and I hope that we can have you back a few more times, just to give us some updates about what's going on in the workforce, job placement, some tips and tricks. It never hurts to be reminded.
That's right.
What to do, how to do it, and how things are changing in the landscape.
And it doesn't cost you anything to come to an agency, a staffing and recruiting agency. We're here to help you, so there's no cost to you. It's just helping you get to that next point in your life. But I will close with this. I just wanted to say that. As everyone's thinking about their career, consider this. Recently, 15 years ago, workers could expect to have on average 2 jobs between the ages of 18 and 38. Today, the average is 10 jobs between the ages of 18 and 38.
Wow.
And so what does that tell us? That their world is constantly changing, the work is changing, everything about how it used to be is changing. So don't be overwhelmed, or don't be, just where you're like, I'm just giving up. I'm just not going to do anything. Don't give up. It's just how the changing world of work is going. So just some numbers out there for everyone.
And that's a good segue into the next time we have you on. Because the next question I want to ask you, but we'll save it, is is it okay for a resume to look like, instead of you being in one place for 5 years, 10 years, is it more acceptable now for you to have a resume out there that's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different employers over the course of 10 years, like you said. But
Right.
we want to get you to come back and watch us
And
again.
I will say one thing just on that, just a little teaser. We understand and embrace all the changes. So we know that everyone has changes. So we have to be able to understand that. However, just a little tip, if there is a gap, we need to know why. Okay? Because if that's just your worth ethic. So that helps with all those jobs, just the ethic. And, the timing it does mean, a lot. But if there's a gap and something happened, we need to know that. So you have to be open. I'll just give you that little tip. Don't hide anything. We're going to find it.
All right. Well, this has been Ashley Garner from Manpower. We really appreciate you being on the show.
It has been so much fun. Thank you very much.
And we will conclude the live stream here. I think that's all we have for today. So you ended us on a positive note. Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you on again.
I appreciate it.
All right. I just ended the stream.
I was like,